Hi, this is Dr. Usman, and today I will be talking about analyzing visualizations and graph types. It is the second lecture, part 2, and previously we have discussed the basics of the visualization design and principles of graphic integrity. For that, you can visit my previous video on my YouTube channel. So today we will be discussing some basic chart types and analyze some visualizations, how false graphics are made. So first of all, I will be having some examples in next slide, and you will be analyzing at the baseline of these charts, and you will analyze how well they align on the x-axis and y-axis, and you will also look at the net income on the baseline and also see the negative values. You will also try to find out the distracting pictures or visualizations or objects in each visualization, and you will try to find out most of the above principles, which things are violated in that visualization. So basically I will start from the number 1. So in this one, what do you think, what basic principles are violated in this visualization? If you clearly look at different visualizations and on the lower scale, so what you analyze about the years, it moved from 1970 to 1974, is it correct? In second one, net income loss or the years in series. Okay, so on the x-axis we have year in series. So now we will check this visualization is telling truth about the data. So we will just analyze the different values given above the bar chart. So if you analyze the values, you see in the all three different types what you analyze over here. You can see that in this picture there is use of excess amount of graphics. If you can see that we have a 3D kind of pictures in the bar chart, so it is not telling the truth about the data which is actually present. It is depicting a kind of image. On the second principle, if we talk about what we have analyzed, that we need to know that it should not have greater space or ink. So if you see that they have used images behind the bar graph, so they are using more ink. So we have another principle violation. Other than that, do you think that large amount of data is coherent in small space? It looks like, but basically it is not depicting the overall visualization type or the overall value of the money in this one. So I will leave some points over here for you, and you will have to analyze, and you can just comment back. And in this one, according to my analysis, all 4 principles are violated, and you can write down which all 4 principles are violated and what is missing in this visualization. So I will be moving on to the number 2. In this one, you also need to analyze that which principles are violated and what things are used. So if I can analyze again, there are some images behind on the bar graph, and also it is just 2 different visualizations in just one image. So if I analyze, there are the cost of different amounts written on the top of the bar graph. They are not aligned properly, they are just tilted in an unsorted manner. So it is also a kind of violation that you don't have the correct labeling. So I will leave some other also points over here for you, and you can just comment and we can discuss. So what about this one? What do you think about this one? In this one, you analyze that there are different homes, and if you can see, I can see a clear violation that I can just tell you. You can see the value 213 and 214. So you can see that the visualization of a house whose value is 213 and the visualization of a house which is 214. The 213 house is almost equal to 198, and 214 house is much bigger than the 213. So basically all the objects should depict their real value. So in this case, the home object is not according to the data. So that 214 house will be such greater than the 213. So this is also violation. This is not telling truth about the data. Other than that, you can also analyze that we cannot use this kind of images in visualizations. These are not good for the general visualization. So it also violates other principles. You can write also the other principles which are violated in this one. So when we talk about the violations in different visualization, we talk about a lie factor. So we can find lie factor in any graph by finding out the size of effect of shown in the graphic and size of effect in the data. So basically you will find out that how much greater or what are the number of items in that visualization and what data is depicting in that specific visualization. So in this case I have an example of fuel economy standard for autos. If you move toward the 1978 and 79, you will see that they have reduced the line length. So when you will reduce the line length, it is basically not depicting the accurate data that from 19 to 20 the line length is greater. From 19 to 18 the line length has became very much smaller than according to the visualization. On 27 1.5 we have a greater kind of visualization. So we will move up to the 18 one and you will see they have left a open end over there. So this line is again according to this one, this line is 0.6 inches long, whereas in the start this line is 5.3 inches long. So when you are depicting each of the visualization, each of the data in terms of visualization, so all those objects and all those visualization types or the methodology you are using, the difference between each of them should be similar. It is similar like the last one, home one. So basically if your first line difference from 27 to 27.5 is 5.3 inches, so all should remain the same. Or if you are 27 to 26 is 10 inches, so you should depict the same on 26 to 24. Also we have 24 missing, we have 23 missing, we have 23 missing. So there is also problem in the labeling of this data. So this also violates different principles. And the lie factor can be find out that you can check the size of the different effects, like this one labeling one, like the lines one, and you can check it with again the data. So it also violates that one. So you can find out the lie factor of the graphic easily by just looking at that visualization. Then we have again an example of the design and data variation. You can simply just find out easily in this one. We are moving from 77 1978 and again you can see that there is a design variation. The blocks have moved forward. This is not right. This should be similar to the previous years. So we need to do the data variation as we have stated in previous video. We do not need to do the design variation. So basically in such cases you can find out that how design is shifting from a singular pattern and how it has shifted from one pattern to another. So it is also violation of principle. So when we talk about different violations, we should be noting that there should be consistency across the entire graphic, not just one object. We should set the expectations and we should start looking about what data should be shown in the specific visualization, and we should keep the axis the same. We should not shift the axis like in the previous one. We should not be shifting our axis without any data change or any other type of data in that axis. So basically you should be looking at the axis clearly. So I have another visualization up here and I will leave it for you to analyze it, and I can clearly see that there is a huge difference between the original data and the depiction of data in this visualization in the image. So you can just find out and you can just comment, and you can also mail me back your answer and I will just let you know that it is correct or wrong. So moving up to the basic charts. So there are some basic chart in the visualization like we have in the statistical chart. So visualization are also consisting of different charts, some charts. So I have example of some charts over here that we will be using in different visualizations, and in the time when we will move up to the other lectures in the data visualization. So the some type of charts we will be having our multi-line chart, small multiple chart, histogram, stack bar chart, stacked area chart, scatter plot, line chart, area chart, bar chart and box plot. So there can be more than these charts, and when we move up to D3 we will be moving up to radial graph, sunburn and many other different types of visualizations. So we will be starting from the basics, and I will be just showing you different images of these graphs, that how these graphs look like. So first of all we are having a scatter plot. Scatter plot is basically consisting of different dots, and they represent different points in your visualizations, and they just look like this one. This is basically made from R and G plot using the economic data set. So scatter plot looks like this one, and the basic benefit of scatter plot is that it tells you the difference between different dots and the distance between different location points. And scatter plot is the most easiest plot to read in your graphical visualization, and it also needs clarity. So in this graph we just analyze that how this is an example of scatter plot and how this will work. We will not apply the principles of visualization here. We will be applying it later when we will be studying these in the actual visualization. So the line chart looks like this one. I am sure that you must have seen this line chart, and what line chart does is that it provides you the overall basics trend of a visualization, and it will just tell you where we have a drop. And these charts are most of the time used in the different stock markets, and it is also used for the money inflation and money growth and commodity growth. So line chart is also a very famous kind of chart. Then we are having the area chart. The area chart is also similar like this one. This is a kind of line chart, but we have a filled area above here that tells you about the basics of that, what area is covered and what amount of area is covered by a different chart. Okay, now we have the bar charts. The bar chart look like different bars. These are stacked up on positive, and it also gives you a negative trend. So bar charts are basically the basic chart which we will be using in our visualizations. So moving up to the next chart, we have the box plot. The box plots are basically the upper and lower bound value chart. They tell you about the lower value of a visualization data, and also they tell you the upper limit of data in a visualization. The box plots are a very famous chart in the statistical graphics. So I have made these all charts on the same data, so it is easy for you to analyze that on which chart which you will be using and what kind of data will be depicted. Then I have a multi-line chart. Basically multi-line charts are good for the data that depict you the multiple data variables in a visualizations, and it also depicts you different variables according to your data. Basically in this one you can analyze that it has shown you different specific lines and different specific colors for different years, so it is easy to analyze that in which year the trend was moving in a growth pattern or lower pattern. So when we have multivariate kind of data, we can use the multi-line chart. Then we have small multiple line charts. It is similar to the line chart, but we divide different multiples or charts into different line charts. Similar, if you have seen the previous graphics, we have just divided those into different individual graphics. So small multiple line chart is also very much used in visualizations, and it is easy to analyze the trend in each year. So we use small multiple line chart for analyzing trends according to the year, according to each year, according to each data variable. Then we have the histogram. Histogram and bar chart are similar. The basic difference is one, that histogram is basically used for the data which is already perceived by the organization, and it provides you the history or the basic background for any data. So we use histogram also for analysis that the data moves in a particular trend or pattern. In case of bar chart, the data can move up to a very highest point, then to a lower point, then to highest point. But basically when we talk about histogram, the data moves up in a trend to a high and then to a low. So that is the basic purpose of the histogram. Moving up to stacked bar graph. Stacked bar graph is similar to the simple bar graph, but these are stacked and joined together, so that is why we call it stacked bar graph. And this is used to provide different multiple data in a single visualization. So if we can see that we have analyzed the movie data, which is according to different rating available and according to different types of user which who can view this certain movie. So this video is up to here now. If you like my video, you can visit my channel and you can just comment for any video which you want to be made in simple English or Urdu, and I will happy to make that concept for you. Do like and subscribe my channel.